Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shah Ba'Hashem, Rakakodash. And as always, I want to give double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth through the will of Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shah. Peace and blessing be unto the elect, the house of David, that the Lord is raising up in these last days, which is made up of you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and Scottish Israelites, amongst the other nations that look like the other nations, but according to your pedigree, you go back to the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, as we are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites. Shalom. Now the title of this lesson is, Who is Esau, or who is the wicked? Who is Esau, the wicked? Alright, who is Esau, Edom, the wicked? Okay. Alright, now for those that don't know, Esau, Edom is the so-called European man, the so-called white man. Alright, but Esau, Edom, according to the scriptures, is the wicked. Okay. Alright, and I just want to bring out certain scriptures, alright, concerning who is Esau, Edom. Alright. You know, because as we getting closer and closer to the end, all right, unto the day of the return of our Lord Yahweh Shah, our Savior Yahweh Shah, to deliver the nation of Israel. All right, starting with the elect, Yahweh Shah is coming to deliver the elect of the nation of Israel, according to prophecy. All right, well, you have to know what's going on. Okay, you have to know who is the villain, and you have to know who is the hero. All right. And once again, our hero, the hero of the story, all right, according to the Bible, is Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Shah. All right. The only begotten Son of the Heavenly Father. Okay. He is the hero. He is our superhero. All right. He's coming to deliver us from this madness and from our last captivity here on earth. Okay. And he's coming to establish righteousness and put things in order back on the face of the earth as it should be. You know, the Lord created this earth to abide forever. All right, to abide forever in righteousness, you see. But within the story, you have to know who is the villain. All right, who is the bad guy. So once again, who is Esau, the wicked? Who is Esau, Edom, the wicked? Who is he? All right. Now I got a picture, you know, for a lot of people that like to use pictures. You know, I know pictures, images, they're very helpful. All right. So here I have a picture of Jacob and Esau. Okay, but we're gonna talk about Esau. All right. So real quick, let's go to the book of Genesis, Genesis 25. All right, and this is the origin of Esau. Esau, Edom, all right, the forefather of the Edomites. And let me start at Genesis 25, verse 19. And it says, Isaac's sons, the birth of Esau and Jacob. All right. Verse 19, it says, and these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Isaac. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Assyrian of Padanaram, the sister to Laban, the Assyrian. Verse 21, it says, and Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord Yahweh was entreated by him. And the Lord Yahweh was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. Verse 22, and the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thous? And she went to inquire of the Lord Yahweh. All right, so now we're going to the story, the origin of Esau. Okay, and we are finding out that Rebecca, the wife of Isaac, was pregnant with twins. All right, keep on going. Verse 23, and it says, "And the Lord Yahweh said unto her, Two nations are in thy womb." All right, two nations are in thy womb. Okay, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. All right, let me read in the NLT, verse 23 in the NLT, and it says, "And the Lord Yahweh told her, The sons in your womb will become two nations from the very beginning. The two nations will be rivals. One nation will be stronger than the other, and your older son will serve your younger son." All right, your older son will serve your younger son. All right, going back to the King James Version, verse 24. "And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they call his name Esau." All right, so I'm going to start right there. Verse 24 says that there were twins in her womb. Two matter of people, two separated people. Okay? All right? You know, two different type of people, right? So now verse 25 again, it says, And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they call his name Esau. So this baby came out looking like what is known as an albino baby. Albino baby, meaning this baby came out lacking pigment, lacking melanin. All right, because during the time of Isaac, all right, during that time, everyone on the face of the earth at that time were different shades of brown. All right, there were melanated people. You see, so let me jump down to verse 26, and it says, "And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them." So Jacob came out, but they did not describe how Jacob looked like, because he came out looking normal. He was melanated, right? He had pigment, you see. But Esau came out odd. That's why they describe him as a red hairy garment. They describe Esau as a red hairy garment. You see? And they call his name Esau. Now, when you go into to the depths on the name Esau, the root word Esau, it goes into the meaning of being wasted away. Because when you don't have no pigment, when you don't have no melanin, pretty much you have what is known as dead skin, you know, or you have something that's known as leprosy. Okay, you see, pretty much it's a dead skin, and that's pretty much what Esau had. So they describe him as a hairy garment, as a red hairy garment. You see, because you can see his blood through his skin. All right, you know. All right. Verse 26, and it says, "And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel. And his name was called Jacob, and Isaac was 3 years old when she bare them." So they were fraternal twins. You see? Fraternal twins. They're different. They're very different from each other. All right? Verse 27, which is the point, and to identify the difference between both of these babies, or both of these people, right? Verse 27, it says, "And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field." All right, so real quick, let's go into the root word of being a cunning hunter. All right.
Strong's H 3045. Yadah. Yada.
All right, Kuntin, Yada, H3045, and definition is to know, learn to know, to perceive, and see, find out, and discern, to discriminate, distinguish, to know by experience, to recognize, admit, acknowledge, confess, to consider. So when you go into the meaning of being a Kuntin, an individual with characteristics of being Kuntin, all right, pretty much, you being intelligent, all right, you know certain things. You're very nosy. You are involved in a lot of things, right? And carnally, right? Because it says to recognize, admit, acknowledge, confess, to consider, to know, to be acquainted with, to know a person carnally. So Esau is a very intelligent individual. You see, he put himself into certain things. He involved himself in certain things to pick up certain experience and knowledge, right? Sometimes he go far and beyond above its limits. It says to know how, be skillful in, to have knowledge, be wise. And one thing is you got to keep in mind is, yeah, it's cool. It's cool to put yourself in, to know certain things, to be intelligent, right? To be skillful in certain things, right? But when you just overdoing it, hey, it's not really good. Okay, it's not good to always be doing too much, right? But it says to be made known, be or become known, be revealed, to make oneself known, to be perceived, to be instructed, to cause to know, All right. It's pretty much the same thing. Okay, it's all pretty much repeating the same thing. But you pretty much have an understanding of the characteristics of this individual. So real quick, let me go back. And it says, once again, verse 27, and the boys grew. And Esau was a Kuntin hunter. All right, not just any, not just a Kuntin, but he was a Kuntin hunter, man. He was a hunter. He's a hunter. Esau Edom is a hunter, man. He loves to kill. He loves to hunt. You see, and when you're a Kuntin, when you involve yourself in so much, eventually become a hunter, man. A skillful one. All right. It says a man of the field. Okay. But real quick, let's look up this word Kuntin. All right, cunning. All right, or Kuntin. All right, it's actually cunning.
Cunning.
All right, cunning. All right, it's just my little accent. I'll be messing up pronouncing words not the right, Salakia, but pronouncing words, not properly, right? But, Salakia, forgive me. But cunning, all right, cunning, right? It says having or showing skill in achieving one's end by deceit or invention. You see? All right. So it says having or showing skill in achieving one's end by deceit or invention, right? So, and one thing you got to keep in mind that when you read the story of Genesis 25, and when you read the story of both of these boys, all right, well, both of these men or both of these nations, right, you will come to understand that this was a spiritual thing. They were both moved by the Spirit of the Lord. You see, all right, so the Lord moved Esau to be who he is, okay, so he can become who he is now, right? So it says once again, cunning, all right, having or showing skill in achieving one's end by deceit or invention, right? Similar, it says wildly. Let's go to crafty and see. It says crafty. Clever at achieving one's aim by indirect or deceitful methods. All right, and that's who Esau is, because Esau will get to you. You know, he'll get to you in a very deceitful way. He'll you know, he'll do you over, man. All right. That's why you can't trust this devil, man. You cannot trust these people, because they can really mess you up. All right.
Evasion.
All right. Invasion. Evasion. Right. It says the action of invading something. All right. Similar words. Avoidance, the action of keeping away from or not doing something. Okay, dodging was this one right here was a good one for me. This one caught my attention. And it says avoid, dodge, right? Avoid someone or something by a sudden quick move. And Esau is like that. He's very slick. You know, he likes to dodge certain situations that he put himself in, you know, because he knows he was wrong. All right, because like I said, he was a cunning hunter. He's a cunning hunter. You see, he's a very skillful, he's a very intelligent individual, because he had put himself in certain things that, you know, he goes far and beyond, man. And it's funny too, because you might watch scary movies where you might have a certain individual, a Edomite, right, a so-called white person in the movie, you know, that they might hear something in the wilderness, right, like a noise in the wilderness, right, like a scary noise from the wilderness, right. You know, the average person might say, nope, I'm not going in there, right? But Esau is going to do otherwise. He's going to go in there. You see? So it says, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning, he was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. All right, he's a hunter, man. He's a killer. Esau is a killer, a man of the field. You know, God, you know, he always, you know, he's a man of the field, always out and about. All right. And what people on the face of the earth now that loves to go out in the field, loves going to the mountains or to the wilderness, right? You know, what people on the face of the earth that loves to do that? All right, and I'm, you know, in a big number, right? But keep on going, and it says, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. But real quick, Jacob was a plain man. Let's look up this word, plain man. All right.
Strong's H 8535. Tom.
All right. Hebrew 8535. Tom. All right. Plain. Right. It says perfect, complete, perfect. One who lacks nothing in physical strength. All right. And you know how it says, I think it was in what, Genesis, I think in the verse 23 where it says, or verse 24, it says that the one people will be stronger than the other people, right? And the elder shall serve the younger. All right. So it says one who lacks nothing in physical strength, beauty. You see, and that's Jacob. That's the characteristics of Jacob. All right. You know, where Esau, he's weak and Jacob is strong, right? It says one who lacks nothing in physical strength, beauty, etc., sound, wholesome, an ordinary, quiet sort of person, complete, morally innocent, having integrity, one who is morally and ethically pure. All right. So pretty much Jacob goes back to the line of the righteous. You see. All right. And where where you have Esau. Esau goes back to the descendants of the wicked. Okay, because he's what? He's a very skillful, deceitful hunter. All right, and very clever at it, man. You see. Now, Jacob was a plain man. He's a plain man, right? Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. All right, you know, he didn't put himself in a lot of activity. You know, he wasn't active as Esau. Okay, and then you got another thing you got to keep in mind during that time. All right, it's not the same as now. You see, you know, but you know, Jacob was considered to be like a city boy, a people's man. All right. With Esau, he was more as what is known as being antisocial. You see, you know, but he became this antisocial man. You know, this antisocial individual. All right. And eventually he picked, you know, eventually when you have those type of characteristics of a man, you'll pick up a very prideful spirit. All right. Which is all wicked, man. But verse 28, and it says, and Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. All right. And that right there shows you who Jacob is. Jacob was a mama's boy. He was a baby boy. You know, and what people on the face of the earth loves to be with their mother, right? And just like being around women, pretty much. You see, right? So-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Okay, but Esau was like I said, a man of the field, man. A man, you know. And that's why now these Edomites, so-called white people, they're great scientists, you know. They pick up on certain things at a young age than we do. In the case of so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, we're more chill, and we just be vibing, right? Which sometimes it can be good, but not all the time, you see. All right. And it says, verse 28, and it says, and Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. All right. So, you know, Esau was favored by Isaac. Verse 29, and it says, and Jacob saw Pardish, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said unto Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. All right, and it says in the NOT, verse 30, Esau said to Jacob, I am starved. Give me some of that red stew. This is how Esau got his other name, Edom, which means red. All right. And another thing I want you to keep in mind is that, all right, just because a lot of people get confused, you got to keep in mind that there's only two colors. There's only two skin colors. Let me repeat that. There's only two skin colors. All right. There's only two skin tones, and that is brown and red, and whatever in between. Okay. Different shades of brown and different shades of red. All right. Because you got the people out here in this world, they get confused. You know, you got yellow people, brown people, black people, blah, 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 red people, you know what I'm saying? White people. No, that's confusion. All right. There's only two colors when it comes down to the skin tone. Okay. And that is what? That is red, and that is brown. All right. And you have different shades of brown, and you have different shades of red. All right. Okay. So it says, verse 30 again, it says, and Esau said unto Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, find faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. So he received the name Edom because of the red pottage, but it was spiritual because once again he has no melanin. Esau was what is known as a albino man. He was albino man, meaning that he didn't have no pigment. He didn't have no melanin. Okay. All right. He had leprosy. You know, he was red. All right. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am the point to die. What profit shall this birthright do to me? Because in the ancient time, all right, the elder son receives the birthright from the father. Okay. All right. That's how it's always been throughout history, right? You see? But in this case, because you got to keep in mind that the story of Jacob and Esau was spiritual. All right. You know, it was spiritual. Okay. So right now, when you read this, when I'm reading right now, you're finding out that Esau lacked faith. He lacked patience. He lacked faith, right? And it says in Jacob, because Jacob, now when you look into the word Jacob, let me see. All right. This is Jacob, which is Ya'quab.
Strong's H 3290. Yaakov.
Ya'quab, right? And it says Jacob, heel holder or supplanter. So Jacob was a supplanter, you know. All right, because he knew that the birthright belongs to the elder son, you see. But hey, I guess Jacob had to wait for the right moment, you know. And Esau got played through the spirit. Esau got played through the spirit, right? Verse 32. So like verse 31 again, it says, and Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die. What profit shall this birthright do to me? And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. All right. And back in the day, if you are elder son, you are an idiot if you just gonna give up your birthright like that, you know. Like you can watch certain movies like Game of Thrones or whatever the case might be, right? Where you know, and we'll say a king, all right, he dies, right? You know, well, guess what? Everything that the king has, you know, everything that the king had, right? What he has is gonna be given unto the elder son. You see, but in the case of the story of Jacob and Esau gave up his birthright like it was nothing. All right. So it says, and Jacob said, swear to me this day, and he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. That was Esau despised his birthright. You see, because, you know, that's why when you read the scriptures, man, you got to be able to read it with a vision at the point that you're there, you know, like you're there, right? So, you know, hey, Jacob was making a stew, right? It was red because I'm pretty sure he had meat in the stew, but the meat wasn't fully cooked. Okay, you see. And one thing about Jake, when Jake, all right, you know, Jacob, right, or Israelites, right, but we say Jake. One thing about Jake is that when it comes down to cooking, Jake take their cooking skills very seriously, right? You know, it has to be perfect, right? And Esau he didn't have time for that. He didn't want to wait for none of that. He was hungry, right? He was hungry. He lacked patience. He lacked faith. So what did Jacob do? He waited for the right moment to supplant Esau for his birthright. You see? All right? And that's why you gotta watch out for what you say, because you're gonna be whole. You're gonna be whole for that, man. You're gonna be whole to that. All right? To whatever you say. You see? So there you go. Esau sold his birthright unto Jacob. Okay? All right? But what I was trying to get into was verse 27. The different characteristics of both of these brothers. Okay? One of them comes from the descendants of the wicked. All right? Which is Esau. And the other one, which is Jacob, comes from the descendants of the righteous. Okay? All right? So now from there, let me go to the book of Malachi chapter 1. All right? And it says, the burden of the word of the Lord Yahweh to Israel by Malachi, verse 2. I have loved you, says the Lord, yet he say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Says the Lord Yahweh, yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage ways for the dragons of the wilderness. Verse 4. Whereas Edom says, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. And this is a great example. A great example that coming to mind is ancient Rome. All right, ancient Rome fell. You see, but ancient Rome came back into rulership during the time of the Renaissance. And you look up the word Renaissance, means the rebirth. All right, which is the rebirth of the Edomites coming back into power, which is the rebirth of ancient Rome coming back into power. So really, the current rulership that we're in right now is Rome. This is Rome all over again. All right, Rome. This is Rome 2.0. Okay, so it says verse 4, and it says, whereas Edom says, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thou sayest the Lord Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. They shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord Yahweh has indignation forever. So the wicked. So when you are reading the scriptures and you are reading about who is the wicked, all right, the wicked is Esau, Edom, the Edomites, all right, and the people whom the Lord has indignation forever. All right. So from there, let me go to the book of Job. This is the book of Job 9 and 24. And it says, the earth is given unto the hands of the wicked. So now we know who this wicked is. And it says, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? All right. If it's not Esau, Edom, then who is the wicked? If Esau, Edom, the wicked is not the so-called white man, then who is? Okay. All right. Because according to the scriptures, that the wicked will be in rulership, all right, until the return of our Lord. You see, let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 6. All right, 2nd Ezra chapter 6. And I'm going to start at verse 7. And it says, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? So what Ezra, which is Ezra is Ezra, all right? He's asking the Lord, when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that follows? So pretty much he's asking what is going to be when it's going to be the end of the of the end of the world, right? Which is really talking about the end of wickedness. All right. When we're saying that the world's coming to an end, all right, when the scriptures talking about the world's coming to an end, that the end is coming, we're talking about the end of wickedness. The end of wickedness, the end of these other nations being in rulership. Okay. And then it said what? Or when shall be the end of the first, right? And the beginning of it that follows. And the beginning of it that follows, because to the world, the end is coming. But to us, it's a beginning. It's a new beginning of forever. All right. Verse 8. And it says, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, right? Genesis 25. When Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob hand healed first the heel of Esau, right? Which really is just what which just shows that the nation of Israel is going to take down the nation of Esau. All right. Meaning, well, what that really means is that Yahweh Shah, the Lord, the only begotten Son, the Savior of the nation of Israel, he represents the whole nation of Israel. He's the one that's going to take down Esau. It says, verse 8 again, it says, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob hand healed first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. All right. So this is how we know that we are in the last days, because we know that Esau have to be in rulership before the Lord Yahweh Shah comes back. Okay. And we know that Esau is the so-called white man because, real quick, of all people on the face of the earth throughout history, all these different type of major rulership that was established on earth throughout history, the only people that were in rulership and that rule in a wicked vibration were these Edomites. All right. Let me see. I think it's yeah. This is Isaiah 26 and verse 10. All right. And it says, let favor be shown to the wicked. All right, and this is still talking about Esau. Yet will he not learn righteousness? In the land of in the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. What is the majesty of the Lord? It's the laws and statutes and commandments. You see, Esau, Edom do not follow the laws and statutes and commandments. He can't. He cannot. It is not within his spirit to govern the earth or to follow the laws and statutes and commandments. All right. It is not in his heart. It is not in his heart or in his mind to govern or to follow the laws and statutes and commandments of the Lord. All right. I'm reading the NLT. Verse 10, it says, your kindness to the wicked does not make them do good. Although others do right, the wicked keep doing wrong and take no notice of the Lord's majesty. What is the Lord's majesty? Once again, it's the laws and statutes and commandments. All right. You see? And see, the Lord has gave this devil, this wicked, all right, which when you look up the word devil, it just means deceiver. The Lord gave the wicked liberty to rule. He gave him a free will to rule. All right, but he still chose to keep being wicked. All right, why? Because he is the wicked. It is not in his heart to do right. All right, but that's pretty much it. I didn't want to make this video too long. Lord willing, I do want to make more videos concerning who is Esau. All right, who is Esau? Edom, the wicked. Okay, just so people out here can understand and know what's going on. All right, and you have to know the past, so you can know what's going on in the present, and so you can know what's to come in the future. Okay, you have to know the origin of Esau, all right, and Jacob, because both of these characters play a very important role in today. Okay, because yes, the descendants of Jacob is here, the descendants of Esau is here. All right, you just have to know who these people are. All right, so once again, Esau, Edom, the wicked, is what is known as the so-called European men. All right, and with that, Lord willing, that this lesson was edifying as well as uplifting, and I want to say shalom.